Welcome back to Youth Alive. I'm so happy you're here and I can't wait for you to see the segments we have in store for you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode. And remember, we are Youth Alive.
I'm bored. I know. Let's go on a trip. Oh wow. Well, that was great. But now I have to unpack. And while I do that, let me give you some facts about flying. Did you know that planes are designed to be struck by lightning? Yeah, and I mean it's more common than you think. Every 1 in 1,000 planes is struck by lightning all the time. Did you know that pointing a plane with a laser, it's illegal? And it can cost up to 5 years in prison. Have you ever wondered what happens with a person when they died mid-air? Yeah, me neither. Did you know that planes can last up to 5 hours with just one engine working? Did you know that because of low humidity and changes in pressure inside the plane causes your taste buds to basically go numb? That's why food on the airplane tastes so bad. Great, I'm done. Well, I hope you enjoyed it and learned a little bit. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, from anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter how many luggage you take or how many hours you fly. Remember, we are Youth Alive. Now, who's gonna organize all this?
Hi everyone, this is Miguel from ICT China, and I wanted to say hi to everyone who's watching this video from the beautiful city of Shanghai. I know, and I'm sure that if you're watching Youth Alive, it means you're a cool person. See you on the other side. Bye.
Hello Youth Alive, welcome back to this week's segment entitled Pick of the Week. In this week, I want us to think about all those things that we used to do before COVID. Oh, weren't those the good old days? Well, because of that, we want to dedicate this week's Pick of the Week to those things that we stopped doing because COVID happened that now we're redoing because COVID is slowly passing. Yeah, join me. And there you have it, y'all. That wraps up this week's Pick of the Week. And remember that we are Youth Alive.
Remember what page I was on. Has it ever happened to you where you're reading a book and you forget to put something, to tell you where you're at? All right, guys. So today and in the works, we are going to be learning how to do an origami bookmark. So let's get to it.
For the origami bookmark, we're going to need colored paper, markers, a ruler, and some scissors. So we're going to cut a square on our color paper. In this case, we did 5 inches by 5 inches. So we turn it this way and we're going to fold those two corners. So we're going to bring the bottom one to the top one and we're going to fold make sure to press your sides. And now we're gonna have that corner going up here. We're gonna fold it, make sure to press. Now we're gonna do the same thing, so bring that corner up to here and fold again. It's important to press all of your sides, so make sure to press them. Now you're gonna open up and bring that side down and fold. And now that we have it folded, we're gonna bring this side up to the back, so you're gonna fold it in the back. Okay, and fold it and press, and we're gonna do the same thing on that side, so bring that corner back, fold, and now you're gonna fold it towards the back, and we have our origami bookmark. And now with your markers, you can do little designs, or you can just leave it plain, or even do a little face on it. Now we can grab our book and we can use our really pretty origami bookmark.
All right, guys, now we have our origamis, and we can actually use them to put it on our Bibles, and so that we know where we left off. So now we can mark our Bibles and they can look all pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next week, and remember that we are Youth Alive.
In 1993, the New York Times published this picture that astonished the world. This kid is Con Young, another victim of poverty and misery in Africa.
As Con Young, a lot of people have suffered throughout the history, and in many different ways. Some because of hunger, some because of poverty, some others because of wars. Even though this big guy represents power, it also represents suffering for a lot of people. But of course, not everybody suffers in the same way. Everybody is different, and everybody has their own story. Join me and let's see what are some of the reasons for some college students to suffer nowadays.
Hey guys, I'm here with
Celeste.
and I have a question for you. So when was the last time that you suffered?
I'm suffering right now with my animal science classes.
That's good. And now I am here with
Jeremiah?
Buddy, I have a question.
Yes.
When was the last time that you suffered?
The last time that I suffered?
Yeah.
The last time that I suffered was in the year 2020. 2020 was a really rough year. I was going through a lot. Yeah, just that.
Hey, one more time, guys. I'm here with Jake. And I have a question for them. Okay, when was the last time that you suffered? You first.
Last night when I had to stay up extra late to practice piano.
Okay, cool. How about you?
Today, actually, I have maybe 3-4 hours of rehearsal for music.
Got you. And that's suffering for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, once again, guys, I am here with.
I'm JC. I'm Callie.
And I have a question for you.
Okay.
When was the last time that you suffered?
I suffered.
Yeah.
I think it was recently. I actually had COVID 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And I had probably the worst headache of my life. And in that moment, I just felt so helpless, and realizing that I wasn't in control of anything in my body at that moment. And that was so it was awful.
People suffer. Some of them suffer for things that matter, and some others suffer for things that doesn't really matter. And in this upgrade, we're gonna solve this question. If God is good, why people suffer? In the last episode, we solved a very, very important question that we needed to solve before we talk about suffering, and it was evil.
And in the following episodes, we're going to start answering the questions, why does evil exist? Did God created evil?
And as Leader Math explained, God didn't create evil, we created evil, and it is because of the wrong or bad choices that we make every single day. And of course, if we are far away from Jesus, we are most likely gonna take those bad or wrong choices. So now that we know what is evil, now I can explain you what is suffering. But firstly, I would like to divide this term of suffering into two groups. Yeah, we're gonna put it into two separate groups, and bear with me. it will be super easy to understand at the end. And the first definition of suffering that I would like to give you is that suffering is a consequence of evil. Of course, everything that you sow, you are going to reap. Everything that you do has a consequence, and it is something that I love to talk about. Actually, Galatians 6:7 reads,
Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows.
it is very, very true. I mean, if you are making bad choices, don't expect something good from it. For example, let's say you are hanging out with the wrong people. I guess. Don't expect something good from it, guys. If you are making bad choices, you are going to have bad consequences. And that's suffering. Very simple. So suffering is a consequence of those bad choices. Suffering is a consequence of the bad choices that we make sometimes far away from God's word. And sometimes you can be like, okay, I am doing everything right. I'm going to church. I'm reading my Bible. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. And I am suffering. I am passing through hard times. Here comes the second definition then. Sometimes suffering is because God allows it to happen. Sometimes God allows suffering to happen in your life because He has a purpose behind it. And the best way that I can explain you this is using the example of Joseph.
Just get ready because it is story time.
Hey guys, my name is Brainer, and Joseph's story starts off with him being Jacob's favorite son out of the 12 sons that he had. And in some point of the story, Joseph gets betrayed by his own brothers because they were jealous of him being the favorite out of all of them. So they sell him into slavery, and he actually turns out to be the second most powerful man on Egypt. And he gets accused of sleeping with the king's wife, so he gets thrown into jail, and he suffers a lot in his cell, and he actually suffered a lot throughout his whole life with him losing his dad and getting separated from his dad. So this story really shows us how important it is to know that everything that happens in our life is for a reason, and it's all planned out by God. And yeah, that's pretty much Joseph's story and what's behind him.
It is amazing when you get to the end of the story and you find out that everything that happened in Joseph's life was because God allows it and because He had a very, very huge purpose behind it. Actually, Genesis 50:20 reads, God intended it all for a good purpose. God intended it all for good. That means that even though, I know, you could be suffering right now, you have to think in two things. Or you are making bad choices, or God is doing something great in your life. And of course, we wanted to share this with the people that we interviewed before. So I will end it up showing you something that we did that I think is pretty cool. We let them know that even though they're suffering, and I will let you know, even though you are suffering, remember that God always has everything under control.
Can you read this? I have something for you. Can you open this up, please?
Oh, it's a Bible verse.
Go ahead.
The punishment that brought us peace was on Him, and by His wounds we are healed. Isaiah 53:5.
So don't worry about your class. Remember that Jesus is always going to help you.
Alright, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Don't worry about your suffering. Jesus is always going to be there for you. Don't worry about your suffering because Jesus Christ got you.
Thank you. Can I have a man?
Yeah?
Come here. I need you back today.
Alright guys, I hope you like it. I will see you later. And remember, even in the midst of the suffering, we are Youth Alive.
And that's a wrap to this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all the international videos and support we have received. Stay tuned for more episodes every Wednesday, and remember, we are Youth Alive.